Yeah, I will be starting exactly 10 a.m. Just waiting for people to join before I can start. Yeah, I can see people are joining. Thanks for watching. I'll still wait for more people to join because I'm going to be talking about something very, very important. Something that I've applied to my business, life, and relationship, and is working for me. You know, like I said earlier, one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I want to make business, life, and relationship easy for people. Today I'm going to be talking about something that has to do with what everybody wants, you know, something that has to do with money. Yeah, more people are joining. I just want more people to join before I start. Yeah, I can see you. Thanks for joining. You can also share with your friends. You can invite your friends, let them come and be a part of this our discussion. And I expect comments, you know, today, because I want to share some secrets with you. I want to share some things that I've, you know, that I have applied in my life, you know, and is really working. I know a lot of people will benefit from this. So I'm asking that you share with your friends, invite them, let them come and listen to this. I want to make sure I do it, you know, very quick, and it's going to be impactful. I'm still waiting for more people. People are joining. I can see. Okay, Isaac Smith, I can see. Thanks for joining. I see you. Many people are joining. What I want to share on today is about how you can earn more money than your boss or your employer. It is possible. You can earn more money than. Okay, yeah. Okay, Isaac, I can see your comment. You can earn more money than your boss, than your employer. It is possible. It is very possible. That's what I want to share on today. One of the reasons why people are not earning more than their bosses or their employer is because a lot of people have this Lucifer mentality. You know what the Lucifer mentality is? That is when you start comparing yourself with your boss. You know, you see your boss, you know, he has a big car, lives in a big house, you know, and he's getting all the accolades. Then you start thinking, you know, about how, you know, you can compete with him. You know, that always, in most cases, always lead to rebellion. So that's what I call Lucifer mentality. You know, if you have to get rid of that mentality for you to be able to understand or embrace what I want to share with you today. I want you to know it is possible, very possible, for you to earn more than your boss. You can earn more than your employer. Recently, I've been observing my staff. If I engage people, because of the location of my business, you know, I have this arrangement with them. You know, I pay on commission based on what you work, based on what you earn, based on your total, you know. So I give you a certain percentage, or we have an agreed percentage that I give to everybody. What I do as an employer, as a boss, is to drive traffic, you know, to the platform, so that at every point in time, staffs are not idle. There's always something to do. You know, I do a lot of publicity. I do one-on-one marketing. You know, I do Facebook advertisement and all that, just to pull crowd, so it gets them busy. But for some time, I've been observing. I noticed that, you know, when a customer comes, you know, after, you know, my staff render services to them, they always, some of them always give more than the price. For instance, we barb skin cut 1,050 naira. You know, and a customer comes and barb. After the barbing, I see not once, not twice, giving more money. Sometimes 5k, 1k, 3k, you know. There was a day a customer came, I gave about 40k for all of them to share. So I started watching, you know, and I started asking myself, what is that thing that would provoke a customer, you know, to give tips, to be generous at giving tips to staff? But I also observed that there are some cases a customer comes, you know, a staff barb, some of the staff barb, you know, and they don't give tips. They just pay the regular price and they go. Do you understand? I started watching, you know, I started observing, because I know, you know, from experience, you know, that observation, you know, always leads to revelation. If you are somebody who is very observant, you know, you always get a revelation. Most of the revelations, most of the new inventions that we are seeing today are based on people's, you know, the inventor's observation. Somebody who has observed over a period of time, you know, has find out, you know, the needs, you know, and that person will always get a revelation. And I also got something like that in the Bible when Moses observed the burning bush. He observed the burning bush. He discovered that the bush was burning, but it was not being consumed. So he stood aside, you know, to consider, and in the process he got a revelation. So if you are somebody that is very observant, somebody who is always, you know, asking questions, why is this thing like this, you know, and you're genuinely seeking for a solution, you always get a revelation. You know, I personally, whatever I do, you know, is based on the. I tell people I don't base my life, my business, my relationship on experiences. You know, experiences is good. Is my I don't even base my decisions on knowledge, but what I do, I try as much as possible to base it on revelation. When I get a revelation, I'm like a machine. You know, I'm like a machine. I feel like a machine. So revelation, you know, is good. But for you to have a revelation, you have to be somebody who is very observant. So nowadays, I observe behaviors in my platform. So that's how I came to this. So I was watching. I noticed customers, you know, they gifted. I started asking why, you know, until I got a revelation. Do you understand? And I even discovered that individually, you know, many of my staff, you know, earn more than me individually, because what we pay a particular staff is based on a commission. Is based on his income, his total income, you know, at the end of the month. So we take a percentage of it, and it's on gross, not even on profit, it's on gross. Are you following what I'm saying? So I have watched very carefully. Then I started asking questions, and I discovered that, you know, the things I observed, that the revelation I was getting was something that I, you know, was using even when I was with my previous bosses, that I didn't even know. Do you understand? I didn't even know. But by the grace of God and by the mercy of God, you know, and by the favor of God, I discovered that, you know, I was doing this and I was getting results until God opened my eye to see it. Now I can boldly talk about it, you know. I can boldly talk about it because I'm applying consciously and I'm getting results. I'm getting results. So what are the things? I found out that there are what is called intangible assets. Intangible asset, non-material assets. And there's what they call tangible assets. what gives tips, what enables you to get favor from customer has a lot to do with the intangible asset, the intangible resources. It has to do with intangible resources. When a customer comes, we don't ask a customer to pay immediately. You know, a customer pays after service. Are you following what I'm saying? This is because we trust our customers. We've been doing this. You know, we allow customers to pay after service. Do you understand? So, what makes a customer, you know, to go ahead to pay more than the regular price has a lot to do with the intangible resources, you know, the intangible assets, you know, in the life of, you know, the staff or the stylist or the barber or the braider, you know, or the nail technician that is working on the customer. That's what I found out. If you do a regular job, you know, and you don't apply the intangible resources, I will talk about the intangible resources, you will discover the customer will pay the regular price and the customer will go. Do you understand? I'm not talking about something that you would do just because you want to get tips from, you know, I'm talking about something that is innate on the inside of you, that you have developed, you have consciously developed, such that it becomes a magnet on the inside of you, and this magnet pulls, you know, tips, it pulls favor from customers to you. And that's what I call the intangible resources, intangible asset, and that forms your intangible asset. I discovered that a lot of staff are not conscious of their intangible assets. They're not conscious of their intangible asset. It's actually the intangible assets that is that's where the real resources, that's where the real money is. It's not left for you to know how to convert it. You have to look for a platform that you can use to convert it. These are the things that I found out. You know? Okay, let's leave. Let me quickly go so that, you know, let's talk about the tangible asset. Then I'll come back to the intangible asset. The tangible asset is the one, you know, your skills, you know, you before I even take you to work in my platform, you know, you have to be very good. If you're a barber, you have to be a good barber, you know. If you're a stylist, you have to be a good stylist, you know. So you must meet the basics for me to get you in. So that is your tangible asset. Do you understand? So when you rely on that, what happens? The customer gives you the regular, you know, pay the regular price. It pays you the regular price. Even the regular price, I noticed that some staff don't even know, you know, how to put the regular, you know, income they get, how to put it to work. They don't even know how to do that. Some of them, they look at the amount they are getting in the month and they complain. You know, they see, oh, the boss is driving a big car. You know, the boss living in a big house. You understand? And they begin to ask themselves, how with this meager, with this money I'm getting, oh, 30,000, 50,000, you know, 100,000, how will I be able to save out of this money and use it to buy a house, to buy a big car, you know, or to get the goodies of life? So they restrict their thinking, you know, to that money they are collecting. That is the based on the tangible asset. Are you following what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, they complain, they murmur, they gossip, you know. They say all kind of things about their bosses. Do you understand? You know, because, you know, they become envious. But not knowing that there's a difference between cash flow and profit. There's a difference between cash flow. If you understand cash flow, you know, you will know that regular money that you are getting, you know, that is your ordinary earned income, you know, is a cash flow. Is a cash flow, is a source of cash that's coming to you. If you know how to put your cash flow to work, if you know how to give, how to save, how to invest, that money you're calling little, you can actually make a lot of money from it. But when you begin to think that it's more money, You know, it's not enough for you to give. It's not enough for you to save. It's not enough for you to invest. What happens? You will eat it. And as you are eating it, you are eating your seed. You know, the more money you try to make, you know, you discover that the more expenses, the more responsibility. So you end up moving from one place to another, and be blaming people, blaming your boss because you don't understand cash flow. So I'll stop at that. Let's go back to the intangible resources. I told you the intangible resources, the intangible asset, they are the ones that pull, favor to you. They are the one that pulls, tips to you. But I started asking myself, when I was going to set up a shop, I was looking for a place to set up a salon. I wanted something different, because while doing salon outside the mall, I knew the challenges. No constant power, no good parking space, security. The kind of customers that I wanted to render services to, they are the kind of people who value safety, who value a very good location, a place where there is good security, good maintenance culture, good parking space, constant electricity, AC is working and all that. Those are the kind of customer I was looking for. I was looking for a place where I can do that, and the only place was the mall. Eventually, I got a place in the mall. I started small until I saw a big place that was available, and the initial money for me to pay was about 8.1 million naira. That's a big sum. That's a big money. From what I was making at that time, it was not enough for me, to pay for this space. I only mentioned it to a few people. Then somebody who knew me, or somebody who has been watching me, and somebody who was also a customer, called me and said, when I told the person this was the challenge, what the person said? He said, I've been looking at you, I've been watching you, I believe in what you're doing, and I'm going to support you. And that was how I got 5 million naira out of the 8.1 million naira, which I put as deposit. It was not from my tangible assets, tangible resources. It was because of my intangible resources. Do you understand? There were some other things that the customer or the person saw in me. It wasn't necessarily because of my skills or my talent. There were other things that I saw that okay, sorry, because of the breaking transmission. There were other things that the person saw, that pulled, that magneted that favor. Because it's a favor, because as a banker, I understand what it is for you to get 5 million naira without capital, without collateral. Do you understand? And I was given about 3 months, before I could pay back. Do you understand? So it was because of the intangible resources. What are these intangible resources that pulls favor, that pulls tips, that makes a customer to go out of the way to pay even more, to be generous in giving you tips, in giving you favor, in connecting you with people, in talking to people about you? What are those intangible resources? I've been sharing this, I've been talking them one by one, but I'm just going to mention a few of them. The first one, you must have standard. You must have standard. And when I talk about standard, I talk about, punctuality. Be punctual. In whatever you're doing, be punctual. Get rid of African mentality. Be trustworthy. Be loyal. These are intangible resources, tangible assets. Be a personal brand. What is a personal brand? You must, get to be self-aware. Be self-aware. Get to understand your moods. Get to understand the things that make you happy. Get to understand the things that make you angry. That's what is called self-awareness. Then you also need to also know in course of for how, this is the thing that make you a personal brand. You have to have what I call self-regulation. You have to have what I call empathy, and at the same time, you must have social skills under personal branding. Do you understand? And at the same time, you must know how to negotiate with people. Learn how to. You must have negotiation skills. I'm not talking about the intangible asset now, and the tangible asset, the physical and your skills, your talent. These are intangible resources that you have on the inside of you. You must have a purpose tied to whatever you want to do. You must have what I call a vision. You must have a goal. You understand? People should be able to see that you are happy, you are fulfilled about what you're doing. It has to be glaring. Do you understand? People must see that passion. Do you understand? Then you must not build, your action, whatever you do, must not be as if, you were building the business or whatever you do around yourself. You must have this mentality of trying to transfer, what you have on the inside of you to other people. All these are intangible resources. They are intangible assets. Customers see that. Wise people, they see that. They see the seriousness. Do you understand? They see it. But this is quite different from your physical talents, your tangible talent. These are the things that pull customers, that pull people, to introduce you, to talk about you. These are the things that make people to want to give you, give you resources. They want to invest in you. They want to give you money. I've seen a customer, comes into the shop, barb, and give dollars as tip to staff. And when I observe the staff, the life of the staff, I discover that there are one or two intangible resources, that pull that favor from the customers. Do you understand? If only you will learn, and begin to work on your intangible resources, I'm telling you, it will open doors for you. It will open doors. It will give you access to breakthrough. It will give you access to favor. You will get more tips. That's the tangible resources. When you are doing it, you will discover. Well, sorry for the breaking transmission. Is the network, like I said, you will discover you will earn more money, because if your intangible resources is greater than that of your bosses, of your employer, you will discover that, you will get a breakthrough. It has happened to me. You understand? Before I started this business, I worked with people, just because I wanted to get to know the key success factor of the business. What made those people to open up to me? It wasn't because of my skills, it was because of my intangible resources. They took me, they brought me in, and they showed me the secret of the business. And when it was time for me to move, that same intangible resources, tangible asset on the inside of me, opened doors. And the network, sorry for the breakdown, it also opened doors for me. There is also the cash flow, your ability to understand cash flow analysis. I don't look at profit. I look at cash flow. I look at sources of getting in money, and God gives me revelation on how, one, to give, to save, to give, to save, and to invest. And in the process of doing that, you make more money. Like I discussed earlier in one of the episodes, you might not make money from your primary business, but the cash flow that you make from the business, if you know how to invest it very well, you will make more money. You will make more money. I can tell you the truth. Make more money. I've seen people who have saved just a little money, and they buy a land, over a time. What happens? When they sell, they make more money. You understand? I heard somebody was saying, put on Facebook, that he bought 10 plots of land for 4.5 million naira. Then after many years, He saw just one plot, just for 5 million naira. Do you understand? Just imagine a staff, was working in a place, and he was able to save money, and he bought 10 plots, and he sold one for 5 million, and he still have 9 more plots. Are you getting it? But there are some people, they will not save. They will eat their seed. They will complain, they will grumble, and they want to be like their bosses. How possible would that be? The bottom line of what I'm telling you today is that you should learn. You should be conscious of your intangible resources. If you go for an interview, you go with your CV. Your CV, somebody that is going to employ you, while looking at your CV, is also looking at your intangible asset, intangible resources. The person will be able to, from the way you relate, will be able to know whether you will be a liability to the company or you will be an asset. Are you following what I'm saying? So that's more reason that you should take care. You should work on your intangible resources. It takes the intangible resources and the tangible resources, for you to be able to make success and be successful. I'm sure you have learned something today. These are some of the things that I do. These are some of the things that I do. When the Bible says it is possible for you, to earn more than your employer, when it's possible for you to even know more than your teachers, it is true. It is very true. I've experienced it. I'm living it. It's working in my life, and now I'm beginning to teach it to my staff, and at the same time I'm beginning to teach it to other people. I hope you have benefited from this. For those people that are watching, what I want you to do not just keep this knowledge to yourself. Share it with your friends. Share it with your friends, because success starts from you giving. Give knowledge, give ideas, then you save, then you invest. Then you will not only make success, you will become successful. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Have a nice day.